afternoon. Welcome to a video. I'm starting way later than I usually start. It's like 5:30 in the afternoon right now. 5:21. Today I'm putting the hydro, well not today, but this video I'm putting the hydro in. It's gonna be freaking dope. So, let me show you some stuff. Oh, my car's locked. Why is my car always locked? You've seen lately, I've blocked the dash. I've done a couple other random little bits to the interior here. The interior is kind of coming together. It's been trash for far too long, and now it's slowly not trash. Let me show you what I mean. So I got the flock dash, which is super icy. I did that, and then I made this shift knob. See this? It might look like I bought it, but I didn't. You can see that right there. I should have really showed how I did it. Let me see here, I'll show you. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about it. Uh-oh. So, this shift knob is a cue ball, or like a, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a cue ball, but it's the size of a cue ball. I'm just going to call it a cue ball. And I drilled a hole in it, and then I welded two nuts together that had the same thread. So I threaded the nuts on here, and then I marked them. Actually, no, forget what I just said. I put a bolt in there that's the same thread pattern as this, and I threaded them on there to where each nut was, they were touching, but I could screw them off as one piece. Welded them together, and then I took the flapper wheel and made it look like a point on this side over here. And then I used the press, and I just pressed it in there, and it's freaking super sweet. So, that came out way better than I thought it would. And it's nice too, it feels nice to drive on. So is that, I ordered a new steering wheel, I ordered a new quick release, right there, because I gotta stop zooming so much. I've been told by people that the zooming sounds terrible, and it does, I agree. So I ordered a new quick release, ordered a new steering wheel. The quick release is NRG. I can't tell you what the steering wheel is just yet. I ordered a new steering shaft to replace this bunk garbage because it's held on with a bolt. Just all of this is going to change. The whole steering is going to change here real soon. But what I'm doing in this video requires this. So, I originally was going to take a piece of metal and bend it over this and then take the e-brake and just move it to this side. But I was thinking, why would I go through so much work when the only thing I use this e-brake for is to park? It doesn't actually like lock up the tires. I'm just gonna flatten this tab. Oh man. And then use that, and I'm just gonna weld it right here. So I'm gonna take this seat out, I'm gonna clean up the paint right here and weld it in its appropriate spot where it needs to be. And then I can start figuring out how I want to put my hydro, which I'm not 100% sure yet. I think I'm going to have to clearance the dash over here. But I don't know. We'll see. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking somewhere like right here. This is where my e-brake would be. And then I don't really know. I'm going to drill the spot welds out for this, so I'm going to have to take this driver's seat out too. Because this plate's got to go. It's in the way. But I don't know what I'm going to do as far as hydro mounting. I don't really know. I haven't thought about it too much. I've thought about it a little bit, but not a whole lot. So, but yeah, this is going to be like right here somewhere. We'll figure it out. So, a few days ago, I got this thing cut off. That's where this went. Remember, this was like right here. I also cut that and then bent that tab out. And I polished, or I didn't polish, but I got all the paint off of there and there. Because I'm going to put this thing like right here. See that it misses there. It's going to attach there and there. And I was going to weld it on originally, but I'm not going to do that. I got these plates. I'm going to weld these plates on and then bolt this to there. Once I clean these, I kind of position this. But anyways, right now I got the grinder with the flappy disc on it. And I'm going to clean off all these spot weld chinguses. And then, hopefully, get that hydro mounted. I don't know how long that's going to I might not do it today because I gotta do another video today on the Samurai, but I want to get this done. This is taking forever. Alrighty, this is what I got going on. So, I told you I'm gonna put this right here. This is what I made. I made these two things. So I welded a nut to the backside, and I bent this one using the press. And I recently bought a tubing bender. You can see it. I'll zoom in. Oh, right there. You see it? There it is. Nice. So I used one of the dies and the press and bent that just a little bit so it fits on there. And then I drilled those holes. Put that thing right there, and that's so I can, you know, take this on and off. Because eventually this chassis is going to go and get the whole interior painted, and at that point I don't want this thing being in there. That's the main reason. I was going to weld this directly to here, but since I'm not doing that, I gotta go this way. And see, there's the other one. So I'm going to weld these in, and then I'll be able to bolt this in, and then it's gonna be freaking sweet because I'll have a parking brake again. I've been having to put rocks behind my tire because I don't have a parking. Well, I do have a parking brake, I just can't use it. So that sucks. So that'll be sweet. I'll be able to bolt that thing in, and then the hydro is going to go in. I'm going to have to notch this. So you see this line, and where's it at? This line right here. Those two lines is where the hydro sits. That's where I want it to sit. So that line, actually I should redo that line. It's looking a bit freaking crusty. Nice. Alright, so those two lines, that's where the hydro is going to sit, but this thing's kind of in the way, so I'm going to have to mark it where it sits, and I'm going to cut this, notch this with an angle grinder, and then I'll just build a piece that goes basically just like a little L bracket, and then I'm going to have to build a bracket. Actually, I'll probably have to cut it down here. Maybe I'll just bash, I might just bash it in, that might be stronger. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet, but it's gonna be sick, and that's gonna be cool. It's cool that it's gonna be sick, right, Drake? He can't hear me. Alright, so I'm gonna weld those things in. I don't know if the welder can reach that far, but we're about to figure it out. I have to disconnect my battery, weld those in, and then bolt the parking brake back in place. So that'll be pretty freaking sweet. Alrighty, I got this all welded on. Look at how sick this is. Look at this. Look at that. That's like perfect. It's still, you know, bam. And it's just on there good. Look at that. I kind of burned a hole through there because the metal's real thin. When I was wire wheeling the whatever these are, the spot welds down, I got thin right there because it made a heat spot, and I burned right through it. And then look at that. They're not bad welds. They're not the best, but they ain't bad. But look at that. Look at how good that looks, man. E-brake's bolted on. I'm gonna slap the seats back in right now, and then they'll be all for that. And then next is the hydro. But look at that. Just relocated my parking brake on the passenger side. Now it's basically a right-hand drive. I don't even know what all you guys are doing because I got a left-hand drive with a right-hand drive parking brake. What? That's right, because I converted a right-hand drive chassis to a left-hand drive. I'm just kidding. No one would ever do that. Maybe in Japan. So, next course of action is the hydro in there. Hydro's got to go in. And that's going to go where I showed you those two lines before. There and right there. So I'm going to have to cut that, like I was saying, that piece. So, but that might be today. It might be another day, I don't know. But right now I'm going to go and work on the Samurai, so I'm going to start a new video. So I'll see you when I see you. Take care. And, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. This is the hydro video, alright? I don't know if you knew that. You probably did because you were just watching it. That's what you clicked on it for. So, okay, let me tell you. Alright, so remember last time I told you, I showed you where I was going to put it, and I put the parking brake in its spot. Well, I forgot to pick up the camera, and I kind of got a little ahead of myself. So, this is what I got so far. See, I have, let me, like inhaled grinder dust or something. So that kind of hurts. Okay, so I cut this chunk of metal out, which went right here, bam, gone. This chunk of metal, which went right there, bam, gone. And I flattened the spot welds, hammered this down a little bit. This one I left just like that because that's kind of a structural support. I mean, I think it'd be, if I didn't like ever weld it on right here and right here, I'm pretty sure, I'm 98% sure it would be fine forever and always. But my seat bolts here and here, and it's only held on with a scattered amount of spot welds. Ugh. Right through there. Man, my throat hurts. Holy crap. I was using the grinder, and like I inhaled some dust, and now my throat hurts. Anyways, I'm afraid that if in the event of a crash, there's a chance it could rip off of this side, and if it rips off this side, it could rip off this side. So as a safety precaution, I'm making my bracket weld to this, or attach these to the bracket for the hydro. So this is what I got so far. Let me screw this back in. Okay, bingo, bango, bongo, that's in. So you can see, I got that little guy on there. I'm gonna have to sand a little bit more right here. So this is actually the first test, so you can kind of see, right? Let me see here. See, there's a little bit of a lip right there. I gotta sand that guy off, maybe a little bit right there. So I'm gonna get the Sharpie and mark that here in a second. But this is the idea. So I need to make a bend, like right here, ish, somewhere in this region. Make a bend. Am I zoomed in? No, I'm not. Make a bend so this thing goes flat to see where the line's here. So I'm going to get the ruler right now and draw a straight line so I can use the grinder and go do like a little half grind, so it'll be easier to bend because this is 1/8 inch thick steel, so it's kind of hard to bend. And then once that's like that, I can actually see where the hydro is going to sit. So let me show you something else. I kind of messed up a little. So I had to clearance this, and where that blue is, I have to clearance it a little bit more. But I did this 100% on accident. I had this screwed on here when I was making this cut. Definitely didn't realize and cut my shift bezel. So that kind of sucks. I mean, I can weld it, I can fix it, but geez, I'm an idiot. So that's probably what's going to have to happen with that. So, which, I mean, I'm not really that worried about it. I don't really care. That's why I know how to weld, so I can fix things like that. So I'm going to mark that, what I need to take off, the more metal I need to take off right there, and then mark where I'm going to do my line to cut it. And then I'll show you that in a second. Hopefully I can get the hydro in today. It's already... Oh my goodness, my throat. This is what you sound like when you've been smoking for like 700 years. Yeah, I don't know what it hurts like right here. I'm bringing a die, Paco. If I die, you can have the car, okay? Hello, hello. It is late. It's very dark. See, look at this. I need the light on my face. It's very dark. So, it's like 8 o'clock, and this hydro thing is looking pretty dope. I got the bracket all made up. However, I don't have any welding done yet, just because it's late, and then we gotta pull the Porsche out of the garage to do welding. But look, this is what I got so far. So look, the hydro is sitting in there on the bracket that I made, which I'll take that off in just a smidge, but and for the time being, look how sick this is. That's how it's gonna be right there. So it's like nice and close to my steering wheel. See that? Just a little 1-2 right there. And then I just have it sitting in place right now, so that's how she's gonna be. It's kind of interfering with the seat there, but that ain't no problem. Sophie, will you hold this right here? Awesome. So look, this is what I was talking about. So see, I just have those bolts sitting through there for temporary holdingness. So Alrighty, so here's the bracket so far. This is a separate piece from this. This is the bracket that bends down to here, and I just made this for a little bit extra reinforcement. That's the same size as the base of the Hydro, so I have that welded to this plate. But then over here, see, I gotta weld it right along there, and then that's bolted. That's how I fix that, just a little crappy tack weld. But then, Sophie, will you shine the light over here, kind of? Yeah, see that? It comes down right over to there, like that. So I'll show you a little bit better in the morning. Alrighty, welcome back. So the other night I showed you the bracket I had made. I want to show it to you. Oh my goodness, I have hiccups, sorry. I want to show it to you now in the light so you can get a better idea of what it looks like. So, this is what we're dealing with. This is what I made so far. This is how it looks. Let's see, it's got that little tab there. And so all you do, you just take the oh my goodness, hiccups. You take the grinder, if it'll focus, you can kind of see. Anyways, you take the grinder, and you put a slit where you want to bend it, and then you can bend it easier. And then you can just come back and fill it with weld. So, that plate is the same as the bottom of that, and this is going to go bam, right there. Oh man, so see, it slides into there, and then it slides into there, and then this, right now it doesn't look real even, like you can see there's a, but if you push it down, like when that bolt is in there, and then you push it down, it evens up. So, I'm going to push down and weld it. Right now I'm going to make 2 gussets for the inside of here, which I haven't cut out yet, but I made the template, which is right here. Bam, right there, that's what it's going to look like. So I'm going to cut 2 of these out of metal, and then weld those in, and then weld the whole bracket to the car, which will probably be tomorrow, because today I've been at the DMV all day. So, and it's already like 4 in the afternoon, and I'm just now starting to work. So, I'm going to go make those brackets, see if they fit on this, see if it fits how I want it, and then get some massaging going on with the metal. And then I'll be able to put it all together and send her home. So I made 2 of those brackets, but I don't think I'm going to need 2. I really don't. I think I'm just going to need 1 because, look in there. Look how perfect that is. You see it? I left the gap on the bottom down here. Right now I have that placed in the middle, so it's about right here. And I really don't think I'm going to need more. I honestly don't. And if I do, maybe I'll put this one. Either way, if I do put them, they're going to be close to the middle. I might do 2 just because, but I don't really need to, I don't think. But I'll probably do 2 because I made it. The lighting is terrible. So I got those all cut out, and I'm going to go weld her together. I don't know if I'll do it tonight, honestly. I'm getting pretty tired. And I might just do all my welding tomorrow, because that's when I'm going to weld this bracket in, is tomorrow. So I might just do it all tomorrow. I don't know. But I got the brackets made, so hell yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the next day. So it's the day I'm welding this thing in. It should be the last day of this video. Pretty sweet. This is it. I don't know how much I showed you last night. So you saw the bracket itself. I made these gussets. I showed them to you in the car, but this is them out of the car. I'm going to do a design like that with some speed holes. Put like a 1/2 inch hole there and like a 3/8 hole here. I think that'll just look really cool. Alrighty, so I got those gussets. I drilled some holes in them. See, look, this is what they look like. Bam, look like that. The holes are all lined up. They look all sweet. I welded them on the inside. My welds don't look perfect because I'm not a welder, but those welds look pretty good. These ones came out really bad. Look at this. I'll show you. I'm not too embarrassed. It's on the inside though. And then once this is welded, tacked right here, and then I put one on the outside and up top. This thing will be so strong, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter if those kind of look like crap. So I'm going to clean out the spatter, the weld spatter, which, in case you don't know, that's these little things. It's like little pieces of molten metal when you're welding, like pops, pss, 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 and that's this stuff. So I'm going to clean all the slag out, and then make sure it still fits in the car. And then weld it in the car. Alright, so I just did 2 passes, and you know what? I think these 2 crappy welds right there, and then, well, those 4, I think I redeemed myself, because that's not a bad looking little weld. That ain't bad. It's a little bad right there, but like right there, that's pretty perfect. That looks like just Krispy Kreme. And I haven't cleaned any of these. I just washed it off so it's not so hot. That's why it's wet. Look, that one's good too, and that one's good. So I redeemed myself. So now it looks all sweet. Look, that looks dope. This is a pretty cool bracket, man. I'm really stoked about this. That's so cool too, how they line up. Bam! Iron Maiden. So I'm gonna clean off the spatter here, because I cleaned it off on the inside, but now I have to re-clean it off right here. All this crap. So I'm gonna clean that off, and then we'll do the first test fit in the car. Whoa! Almost tripped over the welder wire. Alrighty, so I got the bracket. It's in place. It's held in place with that one, the nut right there. I got the welder in here and ready. Well, the welding stuff, the welder's right there. I got a fire blanket in the trans tunnel. I got that covering my dash. And she's all primo to start welding on. But there's one thing you gotta do every time before you start welding. Let's crack one for the boys. Oh, that's good. Ooh, just kidding. I forgot to clean any of the material. So, all these blue lines, that's about where the bracket is. That's where I need it to be clean, bare metal, so I can get to getting. So I need to get the flapper wheel in here and clean all this crap off. So, I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'm gonna weld it. I welded this right here. You can see it. I forgot to put the camera on. So now the camera on. So time lapse starts now. Okay, so as you saw, that one doesn't look terrible right there. This was really difficult. I don't know if you could tell in the video. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. It's burning through super easy. Right there was hard to get to, so that looks like hell. But right now I need to run this bolt out and then get the shift bezel and see where that covers, because I don't want the weld to interfere with it, which I think I can weld in here as long as I keep it down in that little groove, and that shouldn't be a problem. And then I really just need to see where that thing goes to see where I can weld, basically. So I'm gonna do that here real quick, and then finish up the top. But I think before I finish any more of that, I'm gonna get a little weld down here started, just to keep this thing in place. And I can pull the bolt out, and then it'll be all good. So, yep, let's do that. So like I said, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, because see, it sits right on top of the bracket there, so I can weld underneath. As long as I really don't weld up on here, it shouldn't be an issue at all. And then down there's still a nice gap. Fill that in so I can weld the whole bracket. I really just wanted to check if I could do that, so I can. That's sick. I can pull that back off and finish welding it. And then time lapse. I'm not a terrible welder, but I'm not the best welder. I think they come out pretty good, considering how, I don't know if you can tell how fast this stuff burns through. Let me clean it. So considering, that's not bad. I don't think that's bad. Hi, Pop.
Hi, is it working?
Yeah. I think it's pretty good so far. It's getting there.
Good right there.
Alrighty, so see those welds. Drew a little smiley face in the weld dust. that's the hydro sitting in there. So, you can see it's nice and straight. It's like when the steering wheel's where it's supposed to be. That's where it's gonna be. So it's like, it's a tiny bit crooked, but that's not a problem. Because once it's bolted and nice and tight in there, this thing's gonna freaking rip. But look at that, it looks dope in here. I need to get my suede steering wheel back in, the Grip Royal. I don't even know if I've showed you the Grip Royal, but I have one, it's really beautiful. So whenever that's in there, she's gonna look creamy, and then I need new seats because these are bunk. Anyways, just rambling about stuff. So, that's how she's gonna be. That's how it's gonna go. Just like that little ripstick. That's pretty dope. I'm excited about that. So, right now I'm just letting the chassis cool down because if it gets too hot, things can start tweaking. So I did a big old long weld across the top, and then I have that whole area up there welded. So I just have to finish this part, and then finish. I'm gonna come up, see how I came up in this corner a little tiny bit. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, and then I'm going to get those welded inside of there. That one's gonna be really difficult, so I'm saving those for last. Best for last. Alrighty, so I didn't film any of it, but I got it all stitch welded. See that? And same on this side, all the way up to the corner there. And then I massaged the metal here. There was a huge gap, and you can't really tell on camera, but I definitely bent the metal down. Same right here on this side. Oh, look, that one burned through. I didn't even realize. It was pretty dark when I was welding. And then this is all done, and see that's in there. So all I gotta do is bolt the hydro on. I have to find 2 bolts, and I cleaned off all the slag. I need to vacuum this car out because look at that pile of trash. I chiseled away up to there. I'm gonna chisel the rest out, but I need to pull it out because it's too dark in the garage. I'm starting to not be able to see. So all I gotta do is put the hydro on. I need to put my shift knob back on too, and then she is ready to pull out, and then it'll be freaking super sweet. Alrighty, so it's all bolted in. It's nice and in there, nice and sturdy. You can see the bolt's just barely poking out of the lock washer, or not the lock washer, the lock nut. And then nice and perfect. Look at that, look at that fitment right there. Wow, that's beautiful. That's awesome. I'm so excited. So now I have to put the seat back in. And then she is done. This project is done after I put the seat back in. Alrighty, so it's the end of the day. I got it all done. It's all finished. It looks primo. I didn't paint it. I think I mentioned that. I didn't paint the e-brake when I welded it, so I didn't paint that. Hopefully the cage will be coming soon, so the whole interior will be actually sprayed, like with actual paint. I don't know if I've told you what color, but if you don't know what color, it's a surprise. It's gonna be dope though. It's all done. I just took it for a little rip around the. Let's try that again. I just took it for a little rip around the block and got yelled at by an old guy because I brapped her in first and got sideways around a sandy corner. Whoops, my bad, dude. Sorry, neighbor. Yeah, so that was funny. My dad was behind me in the Porsche because he had to move the Porsche so I could pull this out of the garage so he could pull the Porsche back in, and I just went around the block. So he followed me, and I got yelled at by an old guy. It's funny. Anyways, look at this. Boom, baby! Yeah, I gotta repaint this thing because that's gross, where it's all schmeckled. But this freaking hydro here is dope, and then whenever I get the lines, I'm gonna do a banjo bolt right here. It'll come off to the side and go down into here somewhere and probably go through one of these holes somewhere. Maybe I'll make a hole, maybe I'll like extend this hole and make it just go. I don't really know yet. I haven't put too much thought into it because I don't really care. I'll do that later. But yeah, look at it. That's the hydro in there. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty freaking cool. Oh, this one gives me problems. There we go. So look at that. If you were to look in, you'd see the fire extinguisher, you see the freaking other side mounted parking brake, the hydro, the gauges in the dash there. This thing's starting to come together. It looks really, really sweet. It's really nice and tucked. It's kind of touching the seat. I mentioned that earlier, but it doesn't feel weird to sit in it. It actually gives you a little bit more leg bolster than factory, so that's nice. Really happy with how it came out. And there's nothing else that's going to happen in this video. This is the end of it. So, I'm going to go ahead and end her here. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. The bottom of it, that's down here, right? I think. Maybe, I don't know, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching. If you recently subscribed, thank you so much. I'm up to like 155 now, I think. I don't know. Might be higher, might be lower. It changes though, but thank you for that. Thank you each and every one of you. Keep on bumping her up. Tell your friends, tell your family, like I said. If you want to see more videos like this, I got one right here and I got one right here. This one's really cool. That one's 240 stuff. And this one right here, that's about the Cressida that it died. It fell off the face of the earth. You don't know anything about that anymore unless you watch the last videos. One of those videos is right here. I think there's only 2 videos on the Cressida, maybe 3. One of them's right here. So video, and then subscribe right here. So do those things, watch those videos, they're sweet. I'll see you next time. Later.